podcast, Lenora Boys. We are in the building. We are brought to you by Nora Whiskey or NoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, NoraWhiskey.com on this crisp fall day in Chicago. I'm jealous, left, because my wife is out there on the left coast, bro. She's literally out there on the left coast. She went hiking in Palos Verdes yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sent me pictures, and I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm like, and they sent me a nice video from Roscoe's. You know, they just throwing it on you, boy.
Which one? Which one they go to? Did they go to the one by the airport?
No. The one in Inglewood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the one by the airport, right? In Inglewood. Yeah. Yeah, the one by the airport.
That's the one they cook the best at.
I disagree. I like the one on Gower better. That's my joint.
Really?
The one on Gower has been my joint forever. Man, okay. Gower has been the go-to for me forever. Okay. Hey, and if you take a sip of that Nora whiskey, make sure you drink
responsibly.
Man, let's get it left. Lefty Podcast. I'm Shaun Davis, SD2 Mics. That dude, the original Lucky himself, MALIK ZAIRE. We are on Bleav Network, and we are presented by FanDuel. You go over to FanDuel right now, you will not find a spread because Notre Dame is off this week. But what you will find is that Notre Dame has a Heisman that is the highest rated non-quarterback to win the Heisman. And that is running back Jeremiah Love at plus 2,000 right now over at FanDuel. Simply download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure that you go ahead. Leave your comments and questions because we indeed respond to all. X, Instagram, TikTok at Lucky Lefty Pod. We are the home of the misguided passion, and we are forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. Yes, sir. Hey, man, NBA is back, baby. Woo! I had the lead pass burning last night. I had it burning last night.
There was only one game to watch. That was Wembanyama.
I told you 2 years ago he was a problem, bro.
He's bigger than the problem. This dude is doing that. He has handles at 7-7 and a 3, bruh. And he's dunking and like he can do that every game.
I still say, and he has been every time we see somebody at that size, injuries are always the problem. And we've seen him miss half of 2 seasons with all types of ailments and issues, dude. That's the only thing I worry about with that young man is his health.
He trained with the Shaolin monks. His brother.
I don't give a darn who he trains with. Can't stay healthy. All of that means nothing. He still has blood clot issues, all of that stuff, man. That stuff is dangerous, bro. He's tough. He's tough. That was amazing. Ja Morant and Zion put on a show. They went at it last night. Man, the Bulls won.
The NBA's good until what?
They tried to give it away.
The NBA's good until what? This All-Star week?
Yeah. They tried to give it away. They were up darn it 30 on the Pistons and almost lost. But you know.
Pistons
and then, bro, college basketball, the exhibition started. Illinois played Illinois State. Illinois plays a close scrimmage this weekend against Florida. Man, bro, man.
Y'all looking all right this year?
Illinois? Top of the Big Ten. Top 5 teams in the Big Ten. They don't have that lottery pick this year. They don't have that lottery pick, dude, this year.
But I gotta do something with that guy from Nebraska.
I'm
Kurt
really worried
Smirks.
about
That brother nice.
he died. That kid, that AJ DeBonster kid from BYU though, is a monster. Ooh, I want the Bulls to tank for him.
He's still just kind of gangly. You know, he's explosive. He's just kind of wild. He's like Deontay Wilder. He's a problem.
You just called the man Deontay Wilder. That's crazy.
He's really good, but it's like, you know, you out of control. You know what I mean? But you good though. You just out of control.
Indiana, who? Kenny Mitch? You talking about Indiana football? Because I know you're not talking about Indiana basketball. Oh man, I'm gonna laugh for real. I know you're not talking about Indiana basketball.
Oh no.
I think Indiana might be the third best team in the state behind Notre Dame and Purdue this year.
You giving Purdue that much credit?
Yeah. Their 1-2 punch might be top 3 1-2 punches in the country. Absolutely. Absolutely. When your point guard and your post man, they can, and they one of the best coaches in all of college basketball.
Who, Shaka Smart?
At Purdue, bro? Come on, bro. You are funny, bro.
He said one of the best coaches in basketball.
He said Shaka Smart. Lucky Lefty fans, shout out to Notre Dame. They got a commitment from Notre Dame legacy, James Halter, another Pennsylvania kid. That man said Shaka Smart, bro. Shaka Smart is in Milwaukee at Marquette, where he's from, bro. Wow.
You're just talking good coaches, that's all.
Oh, man. Ooh-wee. Today we're going to talk about, I don't know if you saw this, but Joe Klatt, along with the Bear, they did a college football playoff draft, the top 10. And they drafted the teams that they would pick, first. Like, what team would you put in first? What team would you put in second? So we'll talk about where Notre Dame landed
12,
in that.
12 teams in the bracket?
No, they only went to 10. They didn't do a bracket. They just did like the 10 teams, the top 10 teams that they would draft into the playoff. And so we'll talk about where Notre Dame landed in that. And where do we think Notre Dame sits? As they sit at 5-2 going into the bye week. Probably an upcoming game against Boston College. At number what?
At number 2.
Left. Come on, man.
We have a Heisman running back with a potential first, second round guy behind him. Defense is playing top 5. I just can't name 5 teams better.
All right. We'll get to that when the time comes. But we want to start out with the 3 top reasons that the Notre Dame defense has actually turned things around. The top 3 reasons why the Notre Dame defense has turned things around. And this defense has gone from just 4 weeks ago, for the most part, they were ranked in the hundreds, Left. The hundreds. Like, you can't make this up. They were literally in the hundreds in most statistical categories, Left. And as they sit today and we look at this defense, we talked about a 17th in the nation at 100.3 yards per game given up. They are 16th in the nation in opponent's yard per rush at 3.2. They've been pretty consistent. Even in the Miami game, they gave up sub 4 yards per rush. And teams are running the ball against them. They're seeing 31 rushes per game. That's 21st in the nation. So it's not like, one of these defenses that have an explosive offense and teams are just coming out throwing. No, teams are actually running the ball. against Notre Dame at a nice clip this year. And so now you look at it from a passing standpoint where they really struggled. They are now opponents passing yards per pass. They're down in the 60s. They were literally like 117th at one point, bro. 117th. Interceptions thrown, they are 5th. They are intercepting 5.22 passes every time the quarterback drops back. And they are sacking the quarterback 6% of the time that they drop back. That's 60th in the nation. Now, they have a lot of work to do. What they're really good at, surprisingly, the struggle has been the back end, right? That's what has gotten a lot of attention. What's wrong with the secondary? Mike Mickens. You look up and the opponent completion percentage is 12th in the nation at 56.63%. So, I mean, they haven't gotten all the way back, especially statistically.
Yeah.
But they are still making hay. They're still making hay. What is your reasoning, your number one reason why this defense under Chris Ash has turned things around?
I think the number one reason is because of Drake Bowen and his consistency through the rough times and also shining in moments in the game as well. I think even in the Texas A&M game where they caught the game-winning touchdown, I just think him as an overall consistent player has been good enough to get the defense out of the rut early. Because even in those games that we lost, like I said, Drake Bowen still made plays and showed up. So in my mind, I think the rallying behind Drake's play and his consistency as the quarterback on the defense, he was able to get those guys on board. You know, the ship could have sank early on in the season, but I think because Drake Bowen is such a strong leader and consistent in his play, where even he may not be the best player on the defense from a talent perspective, but he's the most needed. And I think for him going through this with this defense and them coming alive as they do, I think it stems from him and his play, which has affected his leadership. So guys like Tay Johnson can feel confident with guys in front of him, and when plays need to be made, Drake's in or around the football. And I think if it's not for him, you don't see this Notre Dame get back on track as fast as they do. I think his communication has been there, and he's a settling point for those guys to rally around when things are chaotic. And I Bleav he's playing at a high level right now. Because of that, you know, everything seems a lot easier. You know, when Chris Ash calls something, Drake Bowen has the confidence to communicate it, execute it, get his team right, lined up. And as the quarterback of the defense, his ability of being able to get guys going and on top of that, play well himself, where he's making the hits, he's there around the football, he's TFLs, he's showing excitement, giving energy. That's infectious to the rest of the team. I think they've communicated off of that. They've eaten off of it. And as the head of the defense, as many coaches and players seem to come to a conclusion with, it was his, in my opinion, the biggest share of getting the defense back on track, owning the responsibility of guys and how they execute. So for him to, in my mind, lead this group back to the rightful position where they are for these defensive rankings, I think it stems a lot from Drake Bowen.
You talk about that, and we go to one of the plays from Saturday night. I think this illustrates, Left. You really break down. They're going to fire Drake Bowen right here, and then Jason Onye applies pressure. It has really been a concerted effort up front, right? I think the secondary has gotten better. I think there is a lot of room still yet for that secondary to grow, especially with the youngsters. A youngster like Dallas Golden getting more time, Devontae Smith being injured. There's still some room to grow. But, man, the front seven or front six at times in nickel, they have been getting after it for about 4 straight weeks, bro. And this play right here just illustrates. Remember when I said I'm tired of seeing Drake blitz and it seems like he decelerates in the hole. And I'm like,
Right.
yo, I need to see him running backs or whomever tries to pick him up and pass pro over. And he literally has been doing that for the last 3 weeks. And like you said, it's almost like Chris Ash finally figured out, oh, this kid is a physical beast coming downhill. Like, yo, if I stop asking him to drop 15 yards down the field in coverage, and I can actually allow him to come downhill in the run game, get plays at the line of scrimmage, make tackles, run sideline to sideline. If I can allow him to be the menace and the athlete that he can be, then I'll get the best of Drake Bowen. So, Left, that's a great point. But if you just go to this play right here, look at him. This is the center trying to pick him up. Full speed. Right into him. Not slowing down. Pushes him back right into Mayava. And then Jason Onye is coming around his man, the left guard. And that's it. The play is pretty much over right there. It's pretty much over. He tries to get away. And it's like, no, sir. Down for the count.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Man, let me tell you something. That Drake Bowen, that's a good number one. That's a good number one. I like that. What you got for me on number 2, Left? What do you have for me?
Number 2, I think a lot of it stems from having a consistency in the run defense, which has eventually turned on everybody else as well. So one of the glowing stats out of the outlier, I guess, amongst all the bad stats was that the run defense was solid. And that's due to, your Onyes, your guys up front that have been consistent enough in that area, which has allowed the secondary to come alive. I think their communication at points, especially you look in the earlier parts of the season, it was a little all over the place. On the outside looking in, just from how they were moving before the snap, a lot of extra hand signals, and now it just seems a lot calmer. And that's because of, I think, the defensive rush defense has been consistent, which is my second point. The secondary to really find their groove and really find that formula of the right players, who plays with who well, what combination of guys work the best. And in that secondary, you see the leadership of the team grow, but you also see the young guys make an impact, as in Tay Johnson and his impact to the secondary once things were figured out. I think a lot of it was based on preconceived notion, this guy's XYZ resume, but it wasn't until we started ironing out the kinks in the secondary from a rotation standpoint, then we started to see them gel and come alive. Guys were hurt. Getting healthy is additional to my second point because, they were out there, but they wasn't, as functional as they could have been. So guys are getting healthier, which is showing. And I think that held us back a lot from finishing plays. The first 2-3 games, it was about finishing, and we were just having a tough time either tackling or getting to the spot or getting there late or creating pressure. So health, along with figuring out identity, would be the second point. And it stems from having a good rush defense that's been consistent. Hasn't been falling off the cliff, but it hasn't raised us to a certain level, but it's kept us in the ability to jump off. And then the third point, I would really just say, in conjunction with Drake Bowen, just the linebacker unit. When you talk about just what's catching your eye, watching the defense, those linebackers are making plays, whether they're flying around sideline to sideline like Snead, creating havoc and pressure in the backfield that helps the D-line hit home with Boubacar and like we saw Onye, but The linebacker core has been pretty special. And we talked earlier in the year how we believe that the linebacker core was the strongest unit on the defense, or at least had the most potential. These guys have year two, some year three, they played together. This is Marcus Freeman's baby of the team because he was a linebacker. The identity of the team flows through that linebacker room, and it's the crown jewel, I think, to Marcus Freeman's team. And all of them have been playing at a higher level and have been the energy for our defense and stepping it up. Like, if you see who are the people and the reasons why it's gotten better, you got to look at that running back room. And to have a good rush defense with a terrible pass rush defense, that means that linebackers are filling, or at least, it's not getting past the second level. And that contributes to that run defense being consistent. But then, you're seeing what some would say is stars. Like Drake Bowen is becoming a star in this defense. KVA is becoming a star. Jalen Sneed is becoming an impactful player. You're seeing Tuli Amaka making plays. So that linebacker unit, I think, is the fire of that defense. And because Drake has played so consistent and the linebackers have, it's not like Drake is a senior and all these guys are babies. They're all kind of the same age. So seeing them grow up in that system together and through the leadership of their, probably best player on the defense, not the most talented, I think everybody eats off of that. And then, just a side note, the health thing is big because we obviously see when guys are hobbling or limping or, nursing an injury, it shows on explosive plays and turnover opportunities where guys are, coming up short due to obvious injuries. So guys getting healthier, they starting to be themselves.
Yeah, and just to go with what you just said, Left, we can go to one of the plays from early on in the game where, you just talk about their ability. They stayed a lot of single high. I was, once again, this is one of the plays with Leonard Moore, who held Makai Lemon to 2 receptions for about 28 yards when he was defending him. You still have USC fans trying to deny that he got clamped. They're sticking up for their guy. It is what it is. But I think they did a tremendous job stopping the 2 things USC wanted to do, which was go to Makai Lemon, the best playmaker, and run the football. Notre Dame shut those 2 things down, and really made this USC offense one-dimensional. Go ahead, Left.
Yeah, like you said, they tried to find a matchup, put Makai Lemon in different spots, and to some surprise, we took on the challenge and matched them up in man when that happens. And this is great for both of their tapes to have good on good, and just to see how we looked a little bit like last year, aggressive. We're in one high, we're playing man, and I think we're in the best mode when we're in positions like this. We are our best selves when we're in a one high man situation. And this is just when good just beats better, right? And better beats good. And this is a good offense that we went against, but we played better when we're in our identity. You can tell we're in our identity because of Don Schuler's in the box.
That's a great point. You got USC 12 personnel.
Yeah, this is
both tight ends to one side. And watch, I want you to watch. This goes to your point number 1, which I think that was a great number 1. I don't know if a lot of people would have put Drake Bowen at number 1. Watch him command this defense. Watch him command this defense, Left. Watch him. He hears Jaden Mava. He hears it. He diagnoses. Watch him. Scoot over. Now he's communicating to everybody else.
Yeah, getting guys in the right position.
And that's a great tackle by Elijah Hughes. Great tackle by the former Trojan Elijah Hughes right there, who played very well. Left, you're right. This is identity. This is Notre Dame identity. We go to this all 22 copy in a second. But having a Don Shula not playing around. No, I'm up here in front of the tight end. I'm in the box.
Playing downhill.
Playing downhill.
And then you got your best match man coverage guys shutting off one part of the field. I mean,
and you know why? You know why you could do that? You know why Don can be there? You see number 9 in center field? You see number 9 in center field? Yeah. That flies all over the place.
We figured out our formula.
Yes,
sir. We figured out who plays well with who and what we can do when those right combinations are in. And, you know, Tay Johnson was all over the field. We seen him fly downfield like a Don Shula and make a big play on third down against the quarterback. And that's when you're playing fast, playing in your identity, you're not hesitating.
No, I just think, man, look, this play shows everything that you were talking about in your 3 points. Just Drake identifying, changing things up, getting people in places, and they're filling every gap. Elijah Hughes is knocked down. This is a tremendous play because Elijah Hughes ends up on the ground, double team, gets back up to make the tackle. That's a dynamic play. That's a huge play. If he doesn't make that play right there, that's one-on-one with Tay Johnson with King Miller. No, that's actually not King Miller. That's Jones. But still, that's a great play by Elijah Hughes. Great play. Goes to everything you said about how this defense has found its identity and they're starting to turn things around. Absolutely amazing. Lucky Lefty podcast. So this defense at the end of the day left, if they continue to trend in this direction, will this defense be the key to getting back to the national championship game, or will the offense getting back to where they were and eliminating the fundamental mistakes be the major key to Notre Dame finishing this run this regular season, getting to the playoffs, and getting back to the national championship?
Well, I think it's important for the defense to be at a championship level. I still, however, believe that it takes the offense to get the job done, which we have the talent and the ability to do that, the potential to do that this year. However, we still need to continue to get better on a championship level. Last year, our offense wasn't at a championship level. This year it is. I mean, you got a Heisman potential. You got receivers. You got the quarterback that can do enough. Now, he has to continuously grow and evolve in that position. You know, we can't mark what's considered a bad game against your whole career, but the bounce back has to be twice as good if you're trying to meet championship expectations. And, you know, the passing game still needs to be developed. And we've seen it needs to be developed in games in which, you know, they're not just giving us the free ones. When USC said, all right, we're going to stop giving CJ the free shots, the bar's not open, you're going to have to pay for these, things start to get a little dicey. Now, thankfully, USC is not a complete team where they can hinder the pass and shut down the run. They was going to give up something. But that goes back to why Notre Dame has the potential of a championship offense, because if you shut down one or, quote unquote, take away one thing, we're really good at the other. So it's going to be hard for teams to take away something that's really good for us and then have to deal with the passing game that's, you know, going to continue to get better. So defense being close to where they were last year is the expectation of what a championship team looks like. Offense still has to do their half if we want to win it.
Yeah, I agree with you. As we teased a little bit earlier, Notre Dame did land their 5th commitment of the 2027 class with Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's Central Catholic offensive tackle James Halter, who, of course, his father, Jordan, played at Notre Dame, so he's a Notre Dame legacy. He committed to the Fighting Irish of Ohio State, Penn State, Pitt, and Indiana, amongst others. And so you talk about this class, he is the first offensive lineman to commit, the second offensive player. in the class. They already had 5, and they haven't even reached signing day for the 26th class. Marcus Freeman and his staff are just, man, hitting on all cylinders. So the 6'5", 270-pound offensive tackle said that it was just, a dream come true. Like it was one of the best weekends he's ever had, just being around Notre Dame greats. Bryant Young, Joe Montana. Joe Montana held court, left. He held court, right? Because, the staff had to adjust. The rain and the inclement weather kind of shifted things and shifted their schedule, and they ended up in the inside practice facility. And Joe Montana was just going around, and all of these youngsters. It's because people will tell you these youngsters don't know former players. And that cat, Joe Montana, had to take at least 15 to 20 pictures. Recruits were talking to him, hearing his stories, him talking about Notre Dame, how it impacted them. Man, look, don't let anybody
watch any film. Never see no film of him.
No, but they know. Hey,
they know.
That's Joe. That's Joe. If he's not the second best quarterback in NFL history, he's third. He's top 3. He's top 3 in my opinion. But I'm going to say something people might disagree with. You ready for this one, Left?
Okay.
Leonard Moore is the best defensive back I've seen at Notre Dame in my lifetime. I'm not even going to wait until next year. I can say it here today. He's the best defensive back I've seen in my lifetime at Notre Dame.
I'm going to throw that in there again. Ty Light?
He is the best defensive back that I have seen in my lifetime at Notre Dame. I don't need to wait. I can say it now. I don't think. Come on, Left, come on, Left. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I respect Left so much because he rides for his guy. He is a loyal dude through and through. Oh, he sticks up for his boys like none other.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying, dude, y'all keep throwing names out in the chat. I'm telling you.
No, he's
the moment he stepped on the field as a true freshman.
No, he's special.
You thought it was going to be a drop-off from an All-American getting injured, Left. We lost an All-American last year at cornerback. Yeah. Early in the season. And he came in and filled the gap as a true freshman and is recognized in his true sophomore year as the best defensive back in all of college football. Come on, Left. Hey, man, look. Hey, man. Hey. I'm just saying, man.
No, he's special.
He's, and I know I'm a little early. I'm purposely doing it early. I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to have to wait until next year to say it. I'm on it early because I think he's getting better. Because I think he's gaining confidence, bro. I saw this dude play a game after literally hobbling off the field. Yeah. Came back and got an interception.
Yeah.
Bro, he's a dude, man. He's a dude. And I'm not saying, I didn't say it was by a mile. I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it's like no debate. Yeah, we can debate. Just as of today, I believe he's the best that I've seen in my lifetime. That's including Ed, dude. You can include Ben. Shout out to B-Mo. He made some plays early in that game against the Lions. Shout out to Thomas Harper, who's balling for the Lions.
For the Lions, yep.
Man, Notre Dame defensive backs getting it done.
Getting in.
But yeah, Todd Light, Stans Magala, Bobby Taylor,
Nick
Tom Carter. Man, now you trolling with the Nick Cole.
Oh, man.
Now you trolling, bro. Come on, man. Now you on your Draymond right now.
I'm just saying, man.
You on your Draymond with that Nick Cole.
He's naming the corners.
I was naming accomplished corners at Notre Dame. Exactly. You can go ahead and exhale all you want to.
Nick Coleman is a playoff corner. So, I mean, what category do you...
Give me your Nick Coleman moment. I got one. I got one for 2016. I have a Nick Coleman moment for 2016 on the road against Texas. Do you have one? Do you have a Nick Coleman moment? I do.
I got a couple.
Please share by all means, because I definitely have a couple. But one stands out for me on the road against Texas in 2016, week 1. I got that one.
Hey, man, my guy went to the playoffs, man. If it wasn't for his play, who knows where we'll be.
Now you got me saying something bad about my green and gold, bro. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Not about my blue and gold. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
But the DBs are making a stance, man. You can say that, I think. I mean, you probably right. Leonard Moore's doing his thing now. He don't got 7 picks like Ben Morse, not yet. 7 picks in a season is pretty crazy. But I think Leonard Moore has what, 4 or 5 right now. So,
hey man, didn't they take one from Leonard on Saturday because of a penalty? I think they did. They called him for a penalty. He picked it off, but they called him for a penalty on it. Yeah, they got him for pass interference or defensive holding. And he definitely pulled your boy Jacoby Lane down.
Oh, yeah. Jacoby big, man. That's going to be a tough.
That's a big kid. That's a big kid. He reminds me of
Stretch, Corey Robinson.
What's the other kid, the other big kid that plays for the Falcons that came from USC? That's who he reminds me of.
Oh, Drake London?
Drake London. He's definitely a Drake London type.
But Jacoby's taller, and he is. Here. He got like this. He built like a Randy Moss, just lanky. He's not fast like him or nothing, but he got that build that even when you go he's a mix between a Randy build and a Larry Fitzgerald. Like once he fill out, get big for real, because he's just, and he's got enough finesse. Like he's not just he understands his body. I'm a big fan of Jacoby. Grew up with him.
Yo, the best route to me was the 2-point conversion route he ran. I was like that.
Slick post up slant thing.
There's nothing you could do.
And he can catch. That's the other thing. He can catch.
There was nothing Christian could do on that play. You're trying to play the slant, the fade, and this dude literally just.
I remember him practicing the OBJ catches when he was in 7th grade because he had big hands. He was just short and he was slow, but he had big hands and he can always catch really good. And then in high school, he shot up to about 6'6" or something crazy. Yeah, man. He's gonna be big.
So you want to hear something funny as we get ready to transition?
Yep.
King Miller, running back for USC, yesterday spoke to the media, and he was asked about his first experience at Notre Dame Stadium playing Notre Dame. His response was, and I kid you not, his response was, it was a lot to take in. I was like, pause, bro.
Chill. Yeah,
relax.
Yeah,
I didn't want to pull up. I didn't want to bring the audio up. I was like,
yeah, we was out there playing football. I don't know what you was doing.
Yo, did you see Hitmaker on with Joe and Jada telling Joe, he has to stop using the phrase glizzy and cock diesel all the time. He's like, bro, you are a grown man. Like, find some other words, bro. He like,
you got to. You got to.
he had me dying laughing. It was a great interview. Great interview, by the way. Lucky Lefty podcast. So, all right, Left. Joe Klatt and the Bear, Fox Sports. They do their draft, CFB draft. And they come up with the 10 teams that they would draft. And I'll bring it up, Left. And their first pick was Ohio State. Understandable.
Okay.
The second pick in the draft was Indiana. Undefeated, 2 big wins. They beat Illinois, they beat Oregon on the road. I'm not even about to fight them on that. Oregon at 3, after we know how bad Penn State is, and for them to get smacked at the crib by Indiana the way they did, that's questionable. Alabama got smacked in a game. Played a close game with Vanderbilt. Beat a Tennessee team that's Georgia. 1 possession game against Alabama, lost at home. Defense looked bad against Ole Miss at 5. Notre Dame comes in at 6. Texas A&M behind Notre Dame at 7 after they walked into Notre Dame Stadium and won. That shows you Joe Klatt is like, Joe Klatt basically is like, yeah, Texas A&M got lucky. That's basically what he's saying. And he's basically saying Miami got lucky because they faced Notre Dame week 1.
Right.
With a redshirt freshman quarterback. That's literally what he's saying. That's literally what he's saying. Texas Tech at 9. I guess. I'm not mad at Texas Tech at 9. I'm not. Let me move our overlay to get to Ole Miss at 10. I can see that. They played a close game. Trinidad Chambliss was fantastic until the last 2 offensive drives in the fourth quarter. Vanderbilt, shout out to Clark Lee. I think they've earned being 11th. I think they've earned that. Texas, I can't do Texas in the top 12, bro. I can't. If Texas in the top 12, then where's Illinois?
Oh.
If Texas is in the top 12, where the heck is Illinois at? I'm going to be greedy because, I mean, Notre Dame fans, we smacked USC first. We laid the blueprint. Yeah. We literally laid the blueprint of how to smack USC.
Yep.
I'm just saying. What are we doing? So go ahead, Left. I know you have Notre Dame much higher.
Yeah, I'll probably go Ohio State as 1. There's a gap, so I'll leave 2 blank. 3 would go Notre Dame. 4 would go to Alabama. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 go Notre Dame. 4 go to Alabama. 5 would go to, I would say, Ole Miss. 6 would go to Miami. No, I'm sorry. 6 would go to Vanderbilt. 7 would go to Ole Miss. Or did I say? No, 7 would go to Georgia. 8 would go to Miami. 9 would go to Texas A&M. 10 would be Vandy. Texas Tech would be 11. Oregon, I'll stop being petty. Oregon will be 2nd. I will switch Indiana and put them at 7. Yeah. And then Vandy be my last pick.
So I would put Ohio State. If I could put Ohio State number 1 and then put a bigger gap in between them and everybody else,
Yeah.
I would literally do that graphically. Like Ohio State here, and then we can go 2 through 12. Because that's just the way I feel. I would actually put Texas A&M at 2 because I know how good Notre Dame is. I would put Texas A&M at 2. I would put them over Indiana. Because if they faced Indiana, I would probably take them to beat Indiana right now. That's just my opinion. I'm going to respect Indiana's undefeated season, and I'm going to respect what they did in clobbering Illinois and what they did on the road at Oregon, and I'm going to put them 3rd. Now, after the top 3 teams, this is where Notre Dame comes into the debate with me. This is where I can start saying, okay, Notre Dame literally has a discussion here, the way they're playing right now, to say
in a prime time game, though, you're taking Indiana over Alabama. Prime time, like
no. I literally said I would draft them based upon their 2 big wins and them being undefeated. I'm not talking about prime time. Hey, bro, we can't forget the fact that Alabama got smacked by Florida State, and Florida State's not that good. We're not about to sit here and act like that game doesn't exist.
The same reason as Texas A&M beating us week 2. Miami beating us week 1. I think Alabama just suffered an early.
Bruh, they got whipped. Stop comparing it to Notre Dame. Notre Dame played Texas A&M close. Alabama physically got whipped.
But that's not who they are, though.
How do we know? They haven't faced a team. They have yet to face another team that runs the ball. Who have they faced that is going to take the challenge of run? LSU can't run the ball. Like, no one in the SEC can run the ball.
Yeah.
That's the point. The fact the most physical team they faced that tried to run at them and did it successfully. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So I would take Notre Dame. Notre Dame would run the ball on Alabama if they played head up right now. This is why
everybody, though. Yeah.
This is why I say, man, can I put Notre Dame at 4? Can I put them? I would definitely put them in front of Georgia. I would, based upon me watching Bama and Ole Miss do whatever they wanted to do offensively. I would definitely put Notre Dame in front of Georgia.
Yeah,
without question. Without question. Now, you would take your pick with everybody else. I would just have Texas A&M higher. My top 3 teams: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M. They're undefeated. They earned it. Now, and everybody after that, we can debate. We can slide up, down. I would have Notre Dame 5th. I probably would keep Alabama 4th and move Georgia down to 6th. Miami would come right behind Notre Dame, in my opinion. I would take Texas out. Dude, I have to reward Louisville for going on the road and beating Miami. I have to at 5-1. I have to. I have to. They went on the road and beat Miami, and they're leading the ACC right now, along with SMU, who, by the way, has not lost an ACC regular season game in a year and a half. That's actually incredible. Shout out to Rhett Lashley and the Mustangs.
That's pretty good.
People are sleeping on them. They're sleeping on them. That's all I'm saying. That's a good race.
Oh.
That's a good race between SMU, Miami, Georgia Tech. Heck, Virginia is still in that ACC race.
We didn't even put Georgia Tech in there.
And we didn't even think about Georgia Tech. BYU was undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, should they be over Vanderbilt? That's a discussion. What about Missouri, whose only loss is a close loss at home to Alabama?
Close loss.
They should be above Texas with 2 losses. The Texas thing is really, for me, the biggest. That's crazy. And what you see here is Notre Dame is surrounded by the Big Ten and the SEC, minus Texas Tech. That's really what you see. That's really what you see. But I have no problem. I understand why you have Notre Dame higher, especially the way they're playing right now. Off of these list of teams, if Notre Dame played, they wouldn't be favored against Ohio State. I still think Vegas would pick Notre Dame over Indiana. I still think they would.
Yeah,
I think Notre Dame would be favored if they played Texas A&M again. Georgia. They would be favored if they played Georgia. They would be favored if they played Texas Tech. They would be favored if they played Ole Miss. They would be favored if they played Vanderbilt, and they would be favored if they played Texas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't see it losing.
That's all I'm saying. So I have no problem with. I would keep Bama at 4, move Georgia down to 6, Notre Dame up at 7. I would have Texas A&M higher. Honestly, Louisville tried to give the game away to Miami. They handled Miami for the vast majority of that game. They tried to fumble it away and give it back to Miami. And then Miami choked it away only as Carson Beck can. We've seen it at Georgia. We knew.
We knew
it was coming. We absolutely knew that game was coming. I think he has another one of those games in him left against somebody.
I already said they was going to lose to Louisville before the year started.
Yeah. Man, that's some great comments in the chat. Let's see. Joseph Conity, we appreciate you, my guy. I think Alabama has the best quarterback. The best quarterback out of this. Best quarterback.
Probably Mendoza.
Yes. Mendoza has been doing this thing. Ty Simpson is the Heisman favorite right now.
Yep. Julian Saint.
Julian Saint, for me, Julian Saint and CJ are pretty much in the same boat. Like they're just scratching the surface.
Yep.
But they're surrounded by talent. Yeah.
It's like a 4 and 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 is probably Mendoza, Simpson, and
Dante or Chambliss.
Dante Chambliss is probably 7 or 8, just because he won't win enough games like the other 2.
Gunnar Stockton has been good too.
Yep.
He had some big turnovers against Alabama, but Gunnar Stockton he matched Chambliss.
Yeah.
On Saturday, bro. Like Chambliss was balling, but that cat Gunnar Stockton was like, okay.
But the thing about CJ and Julian is if whoever beats the other team, well, especially if CJ beats Ohio State, he should be number 1, provided he play well. But him and Julian will stay in a 4 or 5 position until one of them wins a championship. Because they're just not going to face the same issues as Indiana, where Mendoza got to get right. Dante's going to have some Heisman opportunities. Ty Simpson's going to have some chance. You know what I mean? Marcel Reed can win out, but that's a tall order. So yeah, I think for CJ and Julian Saint specifically, there's nothing they can really do until they win a championship, or CJ's got to beat. Like, he's not going to get the credit of being the best quarterback beating Indiana. It just is,
You say CJ is the 5th best quarterback on this list?
Interchangeably, him and Julian are 4 or 5.
Okay.
But if either one of them win a championship, they should be 1. Or if CJ beats Ohio State, he should be the 1 quarterback. That's the litmus test. Which one of them quarterbacks can beat Ohio State? That's to me defining who can be the number one guy. But
I'll give. This is just out of respect. If I asked you how would you rank the head coaches out of these 12 teams, Marcus would have to be
Marcus
what? Third?
No, Marcus Freeman's one.
No, he's not better than Kirby.
Kirby's
he's
two.
Not better. He's not better than Kirby Smart. Left.
One. He just beat him. He just beat him.
Where's his championships left? Come on, bro.
Oh my goodness. Where's
it's not like he has one championship with a team that was like a $30 million team and everybody came back. The dude went back to back. He went back to back. We just can't poo-poo that.
I thought you were talking about right now.
No, I'm talking about overall, bro. Literally, Marcus Freeman on the pivot said, yo, Kirby Smart, that's a ball coach. He recognized.
Yeah, Kirby deserves to be on the list.
No, first of all, out of these 12 teams, who's better?
Yeah, Kirby's 2.
He's not 2 left. Come on, man.
I don't know. Maybe we're looking at different TVs.
No,
Marcus
bro.
Freeman took
okay, if that's the case, first of all, stop. Because that Georgia program had went in the dumps.
Was what?
Mark Richt was a 4-loss coach when he left Georgia. Back-to-back seasons. Let's stop. Let's not act like this dude, Kirby Smart, was just on third base. He is not Ryan Day.
He's number 2.
He's better than Marcus Freeman as a head coach. Let's stop, man. No, this is your list. Go ahead. I'll let you give your list. I'm not going to say a thing.
If Marcus Freeman had that defensive line at
Georgia, you don't have to explain. You don't have to explain. Kirby recruited the defensive line, did he not?
In Georgia.
All I'm
saying.
We
get Jalen Carter to Notre Dame?
We keep making excuses,
bro. Get Jalen Carter to Notre Dame?
Go ahead, man. Give your coaches, man.
I know Nolan Smith wasn't coming.
So you got Marcus number 1. You got Kirby 2. Who's third?
Kirby's 2. Then it's a gap.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put Kalen DeBoer 3. Kurt Cinetti at 4. I like Lane Kiffin at 5. Elko at 6.
No matter.
Sarkisian at 8. I mean, I'm 7.
His team shouldn't even be on this list, but yeah.
I got Louisville's coach. That's just my favorite. I like playing with them on.
Yeah, Braun. Yes, Braun.
On there.
Braun. His team should be 12, and Braun should be in the top 7. I agree.
And then I like BYU's coach. I know we didn't talk, but I like their coach because only certain coaches can have that much success at BYU just because of the culture.
See, I like coaches that stay, and become the culture. Like BYU and Utah both have guys.
If you got a really good team, it's because you're in the niche of coaching that team. I
agree.
So to be doing that and be a good team, that's double the challenge. That's like Marcus Freeman doing the academic standards and recruiting and winning at Notre Dame. It's slightly different, but same challenge at BYU. So I got to put him in there.
Yeah,
I like Cristobal. I think Cristobal deserves to be in there. And then Georgia Tech's coach is gritty, man.
I actually think Clark Lee is a better coach than Cristobal. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree with that. But I do really like Georgia Tech's head coach because what was Georgia Tech? What was Georgia Tech? You in the heart of Atlanta.
Yeah, Joey McGuire is a solid head coach for Texas Tech too.
Yeah, he turned around, so he's in. So it's mine is 12. I'm not a Dan Lanning fan, so I don't even think I put Oregon in there.
I'm not a Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning would definitely be in the bottom third.
Yeah, just
him and Cristobal would be in my bottom third, honestly.
Really, you're not a Cristobal fan?
Nah. Nah, I've seen him give games away with bad coaching late in games. Just flat out bad coaching. All right. Now, before we get away from this list, where would the Notre Dame defense rank on this list? I think this is going to be a good one because I think they might be higher than a lot of people think. Let's keep it a buck.
Ohio State, obviously, #1 defense. I think Miami would be 2. Notre Dame would be 3. I mean, then you can talk about it.
I would actually, because the crazy thing is they shouldn't be on the list, but the Texas defense is really good.
Yeah,
the Texas defense is really good. They shouldn't be on the list because their quarterback is mid. Offensive line has had troubles, but that defense is really a lot of talent on that defense. Texas Tech went out and literally bought a defense.
Yeah, they said Oklahoma's defense cheats, so I don't know if I can put them in there.
Yeah, I did hear about that. But the Oklahoma, well,
they said, dude, running down the sideline. I would be so mad. I'd be like, wait a minute. Why are you going down there that fast?
The Vandy D is it's Clark Lee. It's Clark Lee.
Scheme.
Yeah, I would take Notre Dame over Vanderbilt. I would take Notre Dame over Ole Miss. I would take Notre Dame's defense. Because Texas A&M just gave up 40 plus to Arkansas. So, and Notre Dame put up 40 on Texas A&M. I would put, at this point, I would take Notre Dame's defense over Texas A&M. I would take their defense over Georgia. I would take the defense over Alabama.
Texas Tech.
Yeah. Ohio State, no. Indiana's defense has been playing really well, dog.
Yeah.
That Miami defense, we'll see.
I got them top 3 because they're D-line.
Yeah, I still think that what they shown early in the season, and Louisville was the first offense outside of Notre Dame. And like Louisville only scored, 27?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. It wasn't like Louisville put up 40, like Texas A&M is giving up 40, I think like 3 times this year, or over 33 times this year.
Yeah.
So Mike Elko has some work to do with his defense, especially when they go into, they only gave up 24 to Louisville with 4 turnovers from their quarterback. So that Miami defense is still pretty formidable. It's only like maybe 3 defenses I would take over Notre Dame out of these 12 teams. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's saying something, Left. If this doesn't make you, this list should make you feel really good about the chances. Because I feel pretty good that Notre Dame, unless something catastrophic happens, they're going to run the table. I feel pretty comfortable about that. I feel comfortable that they're going to get to the playoff. I hope they get a home game. If they don't, they blame themselves for dropping that Texas A&M game at home.
That's right.
However, I do believe that based upon this, Notre Dame should have a top 5 defense of the 12 teams in the playoffs.
I agree.
They should. And if they continue to get better, they might creep into the top 2 or 3. I don't know if they catch
we definitely can do that. And I think it's going to depend on, just the closer we are to having these less than 17-point victories and all this other stuff.
Yep, I agree. Lucky Lefty podcast. So before we get off of this is what Joe Klatt and the Bear, this is why they had Notre Dame 6th in their draft.
6th pick, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. So there's the answer from the Monday question.
Yep.
I thought you were deciding between Georgia and Notre Dame. I'm going to go Notre Dame with the rest of their schedule. I think they're virtually a lock to get in because I do believe that the committee is going to look at those 2 losses that they have. Even though Louisville beat Miami, they're going to look at those 2 losses, A&M and Miami, and realize that those are, not terrible losses. In particular, when you're breaking in a brand new quarterback in CJ Carr. They have leaned into the run game. What they did in the run game against USC was just flat impressive with Price and Love running for 1,000,000 yards. They're really physical up front, and their defense is getting better. Early in the year, that was alarming to see them get really, cut through against A&M, in particular in their pass defense. But that's gotten better. And I will say, USC can throw the football. That's one of the better offenses in college football, and they did a nice job. Obviously, the weather helped them out a little bit, but just explosive on the offensive side. And they survived CJ Carr's worst game. I don't think he's going to play that poorly moving forward. I don't think he's going to give just absolute freebie from, 3rd and goal from the 2 and run himself back to the 18 and throw a pick. I don't think that that's going to happen. So for me, this is certainly a team that's going to get in. I don't think they're going to have a home game in their first round, although we'll see how it all plays out. It might be close, but they're certainly a team I wouldn't want to play in that environment, in particular if they've got to play a cold weather game, regardless of location, because they can run it so well. So Notre Dame is the 6th pick in the draft, my 3rd pick overall.
Let me tell you something. I think the playoff committee wants the rematch. I think they want Notre Dame to go to Indiana for the rematch in the first round. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want it too. Let's go.
We definitely
Let's go. Let's go. Put Leonard Moore on Surratt. Take him away. Shut down the run. Hey, let's get it. Because they will not have seen running backs the likes of the 2 will be bringing into that building.
That's right.
They just haven't. Just haven't. Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, Left. We're going to end this with 3 big plays. Late in this game, Notre Dame got 4 consecutive stops or turnovers to seal the deal for the 34-24 win. Let's just talk about the Christian Gray interception, Left, and what led to it and what you see here. What you see here from USC, it looks like what's the coverage from Notre Dame here? Running back is all the way down to the screen. You see Drake Bowen has him man-to-man to the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, everybody's matched up, helmets and eyes. Everybody's looking at their man. It's a 4-1 box, cover 1. Let's play some football.
All right, roll it. Christian's in trail.
Just way to be sticky. You're being sticky to the man, and you're just not making it an easy throw. And I think it's one thing to guard something. There's another thing to be in a position where it makes a quarterback get off his read. And that's really what being sticky is. I'm sure NFL level, they'll probably try to fit something in there, but something a little bit too blanketed, they're getting off of it. And they did a good enough job to have Maava stay in the pocket and hold on to the football. But then, once again, that panic thing is real. You're holding on to something and something flashes open and you're throwing it because you see it flash, but those are like the dangerous throws. Those are like optical illusion. It appears open because it flashes before your eyes, but you're not mentally locked in or mentally prepared for it to be open. You see what I'm saying? That goes back to the CJ tape of
being behind.
But he's not prepared, so his body's behind. So now it's a wild throw. So same thing.
I want to talk about marrying the front end with the back end. And this is one of those plays, as much as we applaud Christian Gray, this was really about getting Jaden Maava's eyes. Because we said he's a 1-2. He really doesn't get past his second progression a lot. And the talent he has a wide receiver, a lot of times he doesn't have to. Like he's going to Makai Lemon the majority of the time. He's open. Like, there's no reason to go to this. You're like, Makai, okay, second option, I'm getting rid of the ball. But right here, the coverage matches up with the pressure up front. And we talked about Elijah Hughes having a big game. He gets the double team, pushes it back, and just that little step left. This is what you were talking about, right? The pressure from Heinisch to his right makes him move a little bit in the pocket, just enough. And that's that time that Christian Gray gets. That movement right there gives Christian Gray time, like you said, to think is open, and he makes the throw.
Moved off his spot. He got him moved off his spot, so it caused him to be open with his throw. And we talked about the throw is going to be behind him. If Heinisch didn't get there, Mayava would have stayed on the hash and not be inside the hash, and he would have completed it. But Heinisch does a good job of getting guys off of their spot. This is why middle pressure is important. Mayava, go back a frame. One more. Oh, okay. Go forward one. All right. So Mayava wants to stay here. But because of Heinisch's ability to push the pocket, gets him off of this spot as we're looking at, which now makes the throw behind the receiver, right? So in a perfect pocket, he's just going to keep his eyes on the outside of the hash, outside of where that ref is. Everybody can see where that window is. So once he gets him off that spot, it gets him off his read. And then it flashes, and now he's late. And it shortens the power on your throw, and Christian Gray's playing the jet string, gets in there, undercuts
it. Yeah. That's just the front end working with the back end, leading to a turnover. Man, that is the type of stuff we've really seen from this Notre Dame defense more and more. And I think we're going to continue to see it moving forward. The next play, one of these last series was Makai Lemon gets his biggest reception the play before, and Notre Dame just disciplined play here. What do you see here? USC is setting up. They're trying to set up a trick play.
Looks like a 3-buzz situation where Adon is playing that linebacker spot, and he just triggers, man. I mean, this is a hell of a play. Was that Adon, right?
Yeah.
Don drops down to play in that hook position, which is a pseudo linebacker, right in the beginning of the snap.
He doesn't fall for that play action at all, Left.
He sees and he goes, right?
He doesn't fall, dude. That play action did nothing.
That's his man. Gets sheds the block. Great run through. What a play.
Duh, that was a play. I want you to see the reaction from the rest of this defense, because Drake gets sucked up a little bit on the play action. That's his responsibility. But watch how fast Drake gets to the outside once he recognizes.
Yeah, running.
And all of them, the pursuit, Osbury is there. The pursuit by this team, and then the coverage. I want to point this out as well, because we saw his interception. Watch Christian Gray's discipline on this play. To not be sucked up, and he stays with the receiver, because they want to go to Jacoby.
Yeah, and the other reason why the play doesn't really work is because the field.
Talk about it.
You're running to the field, so it's just so wide that Christian has all the time in the world to recover. Like, if anything, I'm getting on the receiver like, look, you got to close the space. So the receiver at the bottom, I'm telling him he has to get on his horse, or who is that? The motion man, to get on his horse and influence Christian Gray. You're just too far, and it's too much space, and the play takes too long to develop. This is something you run in the middle of the field or the short side of the field. They should have flipped the play to influence Christian Gray. Christian Gray is literally in no man land. He's got literally the entire third of the field. So him triggering on a run that takes so long to come back, he's got all the time in the world. Just wait. Now, conversely, if we ran it to they ran it, flip the play. Now you got Leonard Moore in a different position. He can't just soft play it because it's happening faster, which will give a better impression for him to come up and throw it over his head. But it's just too wide of a field play. It's like, this ain't the NFL, you know. So,
yep. And the last play before we let you guys go, you guys have been fantastic as always. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up, leave your comments and questions. We respond to all. And then Lincoln Riley said when he was asked about that play, he was like, yeah, it was a terrible play call. He was just like, yo, it was a bad play call.
Yeah, because it takes way too long to hit. Think about it. The reverse, even if we all fell for it and it worked, it would have worked by the time he passed the center. But that's like a 60-yard throw.
Yeah.
That's the receiver throwing a go route from the opposite hash with nothing but air, and it would you know, who you got throwing it? You know what I mean? This ain't a short field, you know, whatever. This is a 60-yard in the air throw. Like, it's just crazy. Too long of a developing play to call in that spot for sure. Maybe if we was on the 20, where things have to happen fast. Christian Gray's back there like just watching it all take place. Like, oh, I got this. Just keep it in front. We're going to be great. And it's a stupid play.
Last but not least, the fourth down stop, turnover on downs. I can't wait for you to look at the all 22. I don't know what Lincoln Riley was doing here, bro. This is like fourth and half a yard. And it looks like they're going to quarterback sneak it right here. And
no, it doesn't. It looks like the quarterback isn't committed to the sneak. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So
he's not fooling anybody.
Yeah, you looking around. Like, if it's quarterback sneak, I'm not looking anywhere. I'm like, I gotta get this. He over there checking with receivers. And what you checking for? Oh, okay. It said, yeah, you're doing something. It's over. Half of playing quarterback is being a magician and an actor, right? You know, that's you trying to get a false start before the 2 minute or whatever the case. You gotta act. If you go up there, hey, you ready? You good over there? And looking around and like, it's something. I'm sniffing that out. So on the approach, I know he's on BS.
Let's let it roll. So they bring McCreary behind him as if he's going to do the tush push. Philly style.
Just bad execution of the play. I don't get what they're trying to show because the quarterback's whole positioning doesn't seem like he's trying to move forward. And then I don't get faking the how are you going to fake the tush push but then fake a handoff too? You know what I mean? You're faking the handoff to the guy that's supposed to quote unquote fake the tush push. So it's too much going. Once again, it's too much going on for it to be fourth down. You're faking a tush push, but you're reversing out, hand and faking it. Bad design. You keep rolling it because it's such a confusing play anyway. The defense doesn't even know how to react. How do you have so much time to recover if you're faking a quarterback sneak, I guess? Like, if I'm KVA, and if you go back to the beginning, if I'm KVA, Leonard Moore, who is that, number 9? Is that number 9? Or no,
that's Tay. That's Tay. Yeah.
If I'm anybody outside of the box,
mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking based on down and distance, this quarterback sneak. Like, I can't affect the play at all. So I don't know what Lincoln was thinking because you're running the guys that's literally keeping contained at this point. This alignment shows quarterback sneak, so KVA's job is to contain. You faking a quarterback sneak to roll out, it's just slow. Everything's just slow develop. And then you run it once again to the wide side of the field. You know how much room you have to recover when you have about 50 yards from you to the side? All you hoping for is for him to keep running sideways because you're going to recover. So a little bit of lack of awareness situationally from a play calling standpoint. Maeva panicked. Anytime you see a quarterback racing out of bounds, racing to the sideline, is panicking. Because first of all, what are you running that fast for? 4th and 1 and you're full speed sideways. It's just panic. It's panic. So it's just a bad play call around now. I don't know if it's worse on USC and their bad play call or, because you give us credit for being patient, but I mean, come on, who's silly enough to fall for this almost?
I think he flinched.
Yeah.
If you can't line up and get half a yard, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it.
You overshot a 1 yard doing this?
Mm-hmm.
This was better than at least quarterback. If he quarterback sneak right now, he'd get behind that right guard. Mm-hmm. And it's pre-snap. He ain't even had to put it, you know what I'm saying? He would have to beat Drake to the hole. I would take that all day over whatever this is. If your play call is longer than 4 words on a 4th and short, you should because I know this play call got to be wiggle, tight, boot, fake, quarterback sneak. There's a lot to this play call, and it shouldn't be. You should call.
You got to put the motion in there too. You got to put the motion in there.
Got the waggle motion, the fake tush push motion, X boot. Like I'm calling timeout. I'm like, coach, come on. It's 4th and 1. You done got the longest play call on 4th and 1. Ain't no way this gonna work. It takes me longer to call the play for 1 yard. No. So hopefully Denbrock saw this and said, at least I'm not that bad. Maybe I need to continue to be better. Like I can't be that bad because there's no excuse for that. Marcus Freeman can't save you with a call like this. You can't blame the players with a call like this. This is an offensive coordinator blunder.
Ooh-wee. Left, you've been on fire breaking down this film, bro.
It's just a silly call, bro. Or you just telling me you're that afraid of whoever's in that box. You afraid of Drake that much? Boubacar, the front three. I mean, come on. Once again, we're not even like if they're quarterback, I'm checking if I'm the quarterback. Oh, we're quarterback sneaking. Look at how they lined up. You got one guy over the center. Like, if anything, I'm snapping it and just like they all out of our defense out of position. In fact, let's just keep it a buck. If this is 4th and 1, we're not even fitting some of these gaps. Like, what is Christian? Yeah, that's why Don is trying to push Christian Gray in there. He like, hey, that's your gap. It's wide open. Like, what you doing? Or I'm going KVA side. KVA, you just too wide for 4th and 1. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, this is bad.
Man, it's some big games. You got Vanderbilt at Texas this weekend. FanDuel has Vandy 3.5-point underdogs. Then you have Miami and SMU. We said it again. Number 9, Miami going up against SMU, a team that has yet to lose an ACC regular season game. So Miami losing to Louisville at home, having to go on the road against SMU, who hasn't lost an ACC regular season game in a year and a half. And Miami is giving away 10.5 points left. That's a lot of points, bro. That's a lot. Rhett Lashley and his boys. And look, let me tell you something. That little quarterback that Rhett Lashley has showed a lot playing on one leg up at Clemson last week and answering the bell and getting it done. I don't know. Miami might be in trouble, boy. And if Mario Cristobal loses another one,
it's over with.
You also supposed to have a big game at Columbus, but Penn State peed down their leg. They're 17.5-point underdog.
Wow.
On the road at number 1 Ohio State. You've been part of this one. The largest cocktail party down in Jacksonville, Georgia and Florida, number 5 Georgia. How much do you think Georgia's getting in this game or giving away in this game?
How much do I think they're giving away?
Yeah, how many points do you think Georgia's giving away in this game on the spread?
I don't know, like 3 maybe?
7.5, bro.
Ooh.
7.5. Florida has a new coach because Billy Napier was dismissed. And I'm sorry. SMU plays Miami, Florida, November the 1st. I'm sorry. That's 2 weeks from now. This weekend, I gave you the wrong game. This weekend, Miami plays Stanford. And they're 30.5-point favorites. I apologize. I went a week ahead. I apologize. The other big matchup on Saturday, down in Death Valley, your boy Brian Kelly, number 20 ranked Tigers take on number 3 Texas A&M. The Aggies are 2.5-point favorites in that matchup. And then number 4 Alabama takes on South Carolina on the road. South Carolina should have beaten Alabama on the road last year. They gave the game away. This year, they are 11.5-point underdog.
11.5?
11.5.
Oh, okay.
Point underdogs at home against Alabama. And then Missouri, number 15 against number 10 Vanderbilt.
It could be good games.
Yeah. I am shocked, actually, by that game, bro.
Really?
2.5-point spread. Yeah, 2.5-point spread in that one. A little shocked. I thought it would be a little bit more. But Vanderbilt is favored, bro. That's crazy. They were favored against LSU, and then back-to-back weeks they're favored in another SEC ranked matchup against Missouri. They're ranked. I mean, they are favored by 2.5 points.
Look at that.
That's interesting. So, yes, time. This is rat poison. Stanford got a big win last weekend at home. They faced Stanford, and then that game is sandwiched in between the loss to Louisville and the big one coming next week against SMU. So,
yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. Great weekend of football, even though the Fighting Irish aren't playing, and you can find all of your action over at FanDuel, FanDuel.com, or download the FanDuel. All right, for left, SD2 mics. Anything else left? We're looking forward to this being fun. Now, the plan is next week, we're going to try out our first call-in show next week. That's the plan. We're going to have our call-in show on next Friday.
Love it.
Strictly for the fans. We'll give the phone number out next week. Let you guys call in, talk about make your predictions, your players of the game, or your X factors and all of that stuff. So we'll do that next Friday right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Jay Henry said, hey, y'all just don't please don't make us lose our YouTube page.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? Bleav Network, presented by FanDuel, X, Instagram, TikTok at Lucky Lefty Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate all the views and the subscriptions. And then make sure you hit that like button. Leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. Great show, Left. Appreciate you as always. Anytime you do film work, bro, you prove why you're the best at it, especially when it comes to Notre Dame. So for Left, SD2 mics, we'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Enjoy NFL football and continue to make sure that you spin it different.